name is Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. How's it going? How you doing? Everybody out there listening to me talk nonsense for an hour, how's it going? How are you doing today? It's fucking cold out, huh? We're getting into fall. Fall's coming up quick. I don't know the specific day because I don't know anything about the seasons because I'm a dumb person, but I know that fall's coming soon because I'm starting to get a little chilly. I'm starting to get chilly enough to wear clothing that makes me look good. I was hanging out with a friend the other night and I was telling her how I love the winter. Or not even, I love fall. Fall's the best because it's not too fucking cold out yet. And it's also not enough clothing where you look like where no one can understand what your body is. But it's just enough clothing for people to wonder what your body is. You know? Like right now, you can kind of see the frame of my body. But also at the same time, you kind of don't know what it is. This kind of outfit is making my body a frame that's enjoyable when the reality of it might be a little mushier than you want, or it might be a little less mushy. You don't know. That's the mystery. That's why I like clothing like this. I've talked about this before on the podcast, how I like fall clothing the best. But it was funny because I was telling my friend this, who I was hanging out with the other night. I was saying how, oh yeah, I'm so glad it's getting cold again. Because we were out at night and it's that perfect, like, fucking 65 degree weather. 65 degree weather is perfect. You can wear a thermal, you can wear a sweatshirt. I was saying sweatshirt, thermal weather is dope as fuck. Long sleeve, hey, this shirt is making my body have a good frame clothing. That's good. But she goes, oh yeah, I've heard a lot of guys say that. I feel like most guys think that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess, yeah, because it hides the pudge. I guess because most guys aren't ripped as shit, or at least a lot of guys aren't working out and trying to get their body perfect. So it's good to have a little bit of hiddenness. And she's like, oh, is that why? I was like, yeah, dude. So a lot of guys are insecure about their bodies. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah, dude, I would say most men are insecure about their bodies. And she goes, I've known men to be, but like most men? I go, yeah, most men are insecure about their bodies. We just don't talk about it because we're not allowed, because it's too feminine. That's true, dude. That's true. I'm fucking willing to bet money on it. If you're sitting there right now going like, nah, dude, I fucking love how I look. You don't. There are certain parts of your body that you go, oh, this fucking sucks. Oh, this is gross as shit. Dude, if you're a man, you look in the mirror often and go, I'm an ugly fuck. But you never voice it to anyone except you. And that's not healthy. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't go around telling people I'm ugly. I don't think that's healthy for anybody to do. I don't think any person who goes up to you and is like, oh my God, I feel so gross today. Fuck that person, because that's not healthy either. Don't pull a compliment out of me because you feel fucking bad. You know? Or at least do it genuinely. Let me find out organically that you feel ugly. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll give you a compliment. Don't shove it in my face, or don't bring it up as the main subject of discussion, is that like, I feel fucking And by the way, I'm only doing that voice because it's usually a female voice being like, I feel ugly. Men want to do it too, dude. I want to do that all the time. And maybe that's the real bitterness towards that person, is don't force it in my face because I can't do that to you. Don't come up to me and go, I feel ugly, because I can't go back and go, me too. I'm not allowed to do that. For better or worse, I think men put this fucking, maybe it's a toxic masculinity thing. I don't know. I think it is. Maybe it is a bad part of masculinity, but there's this masculine nature of like, don't fucking That's a ladies' thing to care about how you look, but of course men know. Of course men care about how they look, and there's not wrong with that. You should give a fuck about how you look. Remember when well, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but when I was younger, I remember this thing called metrosexual, and I was like, what does that mean? Does that mean they called it metrosexual because they were trying to make it seem, I mean, in my opinion, they were trying to make it seem like it was similar to homosexual because back then that was a primo insult. And it's not now, which is a good thing. I mean, it is. People still use that as an insult. But now, there's enough acceptance where somebody goes, what are you, gay? And you go, what are you, fucking living in 2010, dude? What are you, in 2009, you fucking idiot? If someone calls you gay now as an insult, you just go, what are you, fucking in the early 2000s, you dumb fuck? This is the 90s, dipshit. Yeah, I'm gay. Fuck you. Are you really? No, but it's chill, bro. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. But I remember they called it metrosexual. And I think it was on purpose to make it sound like homosexual. Because at the time, it's not a bad thing. But at the time, it was like, the zeitgeist of all men was, I can't be fucking gay. I've talked about this before. So metrosexual. But then when you find out what metrosexual actually means, it just means a man who's well put together. Which doesn't that go to show that there's a problem with men and their security or insecurity or like their problem with like thinking it's too feminine to care about how they look, that they create a separate term for men who care about how they look? And this woman my friend's surprised that I'm like, no, all men are insecure about their looks. We just don't talk about it. Metrosexual is why we don't talk about it. Because the moment a guy's like, you know what? I am going to try and look good. I am going to be honest about how me being fucking insecure about my body. The moment a guy does that, all the other dudes were like, you fucking metrosexual. You fucking other thing. You other. Even now, I feel weird. It always feels weird talking about it. Talking about being insecure about. I look in the mirror and I go, you pudgy fuck. You fat fuck. All the time, dude. I feel bad. Last week, I feel fat. I grew up in school being called fat. My brother, I love him to pieces. He's a good guy. But at the same time, he called me fat a lot. And I think it fucked with me more than I realized. You know? And it's funny because I'll look back at old pictures and be like, oh yeah, I was a fat kid. And then other people would see them and be like, you weren't really fat. And I'm like, let me explain something to you. I was pudgy enough for that to be the thing. I was pudgy enough for that to be what you said to me, you know? And then if you say it to me enough times as a young boy, I'm going to think I'm fat, bro. It's only a matter of time. Isn't that interesting too? Bullying making you think you're the thing that everyone's saying. I mean, that still exists today. Enough people say you are a thing. You're like, fuck, am I that thing? Even if you're not, it just takes a large group of people being like, you're a piece of shit. You're fucking this. You're fucking that. Where you're like, oh, am I really that? And you're like, no, I'm not. It's just so many people are saying it that I'd be insane not to question it. I have multiple friends who, I mean, I have one very close friend who for a while he thought maybe he was gay just because everyone called him gay in high school relentlessly. You know, and they're not the same things, but I guess I felt the same way about being fat. I was like, oh, I guess I'm fat because everyone says I'm fucking fat. Or at least they say it when they're angry at me. And even a lot of lies are said in hatred and in anger, but when somebody's that passionately saying something to you, it feels real, man. It feels like, oh, you must mean this because you're fucking angry about it. But it's interesting, isn't it? To this day, my friend still is like, am I? I've had discussions with him about if he's pansexual or not. And I guess that's the same thing for me. I mean, I still look in the mirror and I'm like, am I fat? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, well, it's also, it's subjective. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I guess it depends on your definition of the fucking word itself. I used to get arguments with my ex all the time about body image stuff and weight and stuff like that. Cause she just was like, I don't know. Listen, dude. I know for a fact, I don't know the experience of it from a woman's perspective, but I know for a fact I've known enough women and been close with enough women to know that body expectations are fucked up. They're super fucked up for women. That magazines and all that shit are fucked up. And they set a unrealistic expectation of what women should look like. And now, even more so, it's even stranger because it's a lot of women setting unrealistic body expectations of what women should look like. Because it's a lot of Instagram models self-imposing the stuff. Instagram models making themselves look like these fucking weird, unobtainable, object-looking figures. I mean, literally, they're replacing human fleshy parts of themselves with objects that make it look tighter or whatever the fuck. It's literally objectifying your own body. Eventually, you're just going to be one of those weird fucking sex dolls that are like $9,000 or whatever they are. Because you're going to replace so many fleshy pieces with plastic pieces that people are going to be like, are you real? But what I'm saying is I would get into arguments with her a lot because, and that's the thing too, is what I think prevents men from being like, well, I feel ugly. Is I think a lot of women, thankfully my friend wasn't like that, but like the girl I dated was like this, of like, we were talking about the subject of being insecure, of body expectation on women, and I was trying to be like, oh yeah, it's also for men, but I wasn't trying to say it in a way that would diminish it for women. I'm not saying because it's also happens to men, I'm not saying it's the same thing or women shouldn't complain about it. That's the thing too, is people put words in your mouth before they fucking listen to you speak. I was saying, oh yeah, that's a terrible thing. And also, let me tell you my perspective as well, so we can both share our perspectives on this, because isn't that what we do in the conversation? I'd be like, yeah, and I see fucking men who are ripped to shit, and women being like, ooh, that's fucking hot, and I feel bad about myself. How could you not, dude? There's nobody, I've said this on the podcast, there's nobody who hates attractive men more than mediocre to ugly looking men. And there's nothing who hate attractive women more than fucking ugly to mediocre looking women. Or no one who hates attractive women. Did I say that right? No one, I'm going to say it again. No one hates attractive men more than mediocre to ugly looking men. And nobody hates attractive women more than mediocre to ugly looking women. That's a fact, dude. So we all have the insecurity. We all understand it. But for some reason, I don't know, with my ex, it became this weird fight. This weird fucking strange fight. Of like, no. And it's funny because she would always say the same thing as me. Because she would say, well, women don't care what men look like. And I was trying to explain, yeah, well, men don't really care what women look like a lot of the time. And she would get very annoyed at that. But I think that's true. I think we don't know that because we don't talk to each other enough. I think all we see are the magazines, and all we see are movies, and all we see are what the company's perception of beauty is. You know? The corporate idea of beauty. What's shoved in our faces. But I think if you talk to someone point blank, or you look at somebody's sexual history, you find out, oh, a lot of men don't give a fuck. I've known a lot of beautiful men who have dated not so beautiful women, and they didn't give a fuck. I've known a lot of beautiful women who haven't dated beautiful men. They've dated not so beautiful men. I've met beautiful women who have dated me. So that's an example right there. You know? People date and are attracted to what's outside of the bounds of what's forced in our face. And I think that's the real societal correction that we should try and make. Is not like, it shouldn't be a fucking us fighting against each other. It shouldn't be men think women should look like this. No, it's that this company is like, this is what men like. That's what I think the problem is. This is what women like. I think you should look at a magazine and go, this is fucking stupid. You know how many fucking magazines were like, this person's attractive? And I was like, not to me, bro. And it works too, and it's happening now because it also works in the reverse. Or not the reverse, but like with a different model. Like now there are a lot of plus size models, right? And there's people who are like, that's beautiful because it's on the magazine. Why are we having the magazine tell us what's beautiful? I've thought some plus size, whatever that fucking means. I've thought heavier women are beautiful. I've thought they were sexy as shit. And I've seen other heavy women who I didn't think were beautiful. There's more to someone looking attractive than the fucking number of lbs they are. Than the fucking number of stone they are. There's different variables. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm fucking lost in the woods right now. But I don't even know where I started with this. Yeah. Insecurity. Male insecurity. I'm fucking insecure sometimes. Not all the time. I think I'm a healthy amount. As much as anybody else should be. If I put a suit on, I go, damn, dude, I look pretty good. If I eat fucking Oreos in the middle of the night, go, I'm a fat piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a healthy amount. You know? I haven't been on a date in a couple months. I'm like, oh, no one finds me attractive. I go on one date. I go, oh, dude, everybody finds me attractive. I've talked about that. That's a weird thing in people's minds. I don't know if this happens for women, but it definitely happens for men where we're like, we're ugly. Nobody wants to fuck us. Nobody. And the moment you have sex one time, even if it's for fucking 2 seconds, it's like, oh, dude, women want to have sex with me. If this one woman does, then other women do too. It's like the biggest. I think that's the main reason why people have casual sex is because it's a constant fucking reinforcement in your brain of like, people want to fuck me. At the very least, people want to fuck me. Even if I don't have any money, even if I'm fucking about to be in a gutter, even if I am literally homeless, people want to fuck me, so I'm all good. And that's a fucking worthwhile value. I feel like we underappreciate that. That's a fucking valuable thing to feel, is that people want to fuck you. Because I've spent a lot of life feeling that people didn't. And I know a lot of people spend a lot of their life feeling that way. And the moment you have sex, you're like, people want to fuck me. And you feel fucking 9 feet tall, dude. You feel like you could literally fly like Superman through the cloud and fucking skeet on the universe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm saying. So you might not be following either. Because everything I say is fucking weird. But, yeah, man. I don't know. It's okay to be insecure. It's okay. It's cold out. That's nice. I'm wearing this thermal. That's good. Hell yeah. Is what I wanted to say. I guess while we're talking about jerking off, we weren't talking about that. I was talking about skeeting in the sky as Superman. I guess that's jerking off. I don't know. I don't know if it was like a pull-out thing. Superman pulls out and then he blasts a nut in the sky like he's flying in the sky, having sex, pulls out, blasts in the sky. His white mixes with the white of the clouds so no one even knows. Maybe it goes to the clouds, mixes in with the rain. We got cummy rain. Maybe that's what cloudy rain is. It's fucking God, aka Superman's jizz, falling through a rain cloud. And it sprang out to the universe. I don't know. Anyway, whatever I was saying, I don't really know what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh. Yeah. Okay, this has been written on the list of things to maybe talk about for fucking like 3 episodes. And since we're talking about jism, I want to talk about it. Okay, so pornography, right? Everybody out there, you've seen it. If you haven't, you're a liar. Step whatever. You all like the step shit apparently because that's all fucking people see and that's all anyone jokes about anymore. Everyone's into the step sibling porn. Step mom and dad. Step. I've joked about it too. I might have even joked about it on this podcast. As long as you hear the word step, I'm okay. If I don't hear the word step, if I just hear mom, if I just hear dad, I'm out. If I hear hey sis, and she doesn't go, step sis, then I'm leaving the room. Then the computer shuts. The tab shuts. I open a whole new window, and I do something else. But, no, pornography, yeah. So there are parodies in porn. You know? Everyone knows this. In high school, when I was in high school at least, there was a trailer for one of them that was going around because it was so fucking ridiculous and everyone was like horrified by it and also laughing at it. There was like a Pokemon porn parody where Pikachu was a woman in like paper mache fucking in like a paper mache outfit. She had like this terrible, horrifying, I don't know if it was paper mache or clay. She had like a fucking clay special effects makeup on. She looked terrible. It was disgusting. I don't know why they fucking did that. Just put fucking Pokemon ears on her head and have her look like a normal woman. And there you go, dude. People would have watched that, dude, and been fine with it. All right? I don't know what you think you're doing with the special effects makeup. I know what you think you're doing. You're making it so terrifying that people watch. That people go and see this Pokemon parody and go, what the fuck is this shit? But then they see the other porn parodies and they're like, oh, well, this shit's not that bad. It was a fucking marketing ploy, just like J.K. Rowling with her stupid fucking tweets. Fuck her. Okay? I was saying this to people and they don't buy it, but I fucking... Okay, quick detour before I talk about pornography again. J.K. Rowling. She's coming out with a book. And in the book, it's like about a woman or a man who dresses as a woman and kills people, right? People are saying it's transphobic. I don't know. I haven't read the book yet. But all I know is no one would give a fuck about this book, or they would give much less of a fuck if she didn't tweet that shit. And now it all comes full circle. I don't know if it was all her. I don't know if it was her publicist. I don't know if just by writing this book, she learned some weird shit and she felt passionate enough to tweet about it. I don't know what it was. But I think somewhere along the way, her publicist or a publisher or somebody was like, hey, JK, all this shit that you've been yelling at me or you've been really worried about after writing this book, why don't you tweet some of it? Why don't you tweet some of your passionate thoughts? It might get a Twitter storm so fucking wild that people buy your goddamn book just to see what the fuck's up with it. I could see J.K. Rowling going there and being like, hey, I want to write this book about this thing. And they're like, hey, that seems a little fucking weird. And like people will be upset. And she's like, no, I want to write it. And they're like, all right, well, you seem riled up enough where we can convince you to tweet about it and get a fucking controversy brewing so that people will buy your book no matter what just to see what the fuck is going on. A wee bit of viral marketing. That's an Office reference. Ed Helms says that when they do Sweeney Todd in The Office. Anyway, I don't know, man. I could be totally off base. I could be just a fucking yelling asshole right now who doesn't know what he's talking about. But at the same time, doesn't it seem a bit convenient that she's got a book that has maybe to do with the topics that she was yelling about a little bit? Doesn't that seem a little bit fucking suspicious? Also, what are you doing writing a book? Why is that your book? Go fucking stick to Harry Potter, dude. Why don't you write about your boring fucking life, your rich life as a white lady who wrote witchcraft books? Why don't you just write that? People will read it. Write a fucking memoir, dude. About how you saw Harry Potter on the train and you're like, oh, I'll make a much more wizardy Lord of the Rings. Why don't you tell people about that? She's probably already written the memoir. She's probably already written it. But, I mean, I'm not, again, listen, she can write whatever book she wants. I don't have to read it. That's also what I would like to say to people. And my friend who I was like, I think it was viral marketing, he was like, no, people would have been angry no matter what. I'm like, yeah, but would they have bought it? Because now it's such a story and it's such a fucking, it's trending on Twitter type of a bullshit thing that like people are going to buy the book and read it just to fucking talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And that is such a thing, dude. That's how people have gotten their whole careers. Right? Milo Yiannopoulos, that's his whole fucking career. Is I got everyone so angry that I also have a fan base. You know? People are so pissed off that it's going to make other people go, why are people pissed off? The same fucking thing is going to happen with J.K. Rowling's book right now. And people are going to read it and buy it just so they could fucking write an opinion article. I don't know. I just think it's a trap that is so obvious that I don't understand how people don't see it. But at the same time, I don't know. I could just be a stupid cunt who doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know, bro. But anyway, back to porn. Hold on, the timer's about to go off. That's the end of the first half. We'll get back to what I wanted to say about porn at the start of the second half. See you in a second. What's up? And I'm back. So porn. What I wanted to say about porn is there's porn parodies, right? And they do porn parodies of certain movies, okay? So I was looking at pornography, and every once in a while I go and look to see what the porn parody shit is. Just to see what it is, okay? Just because I'm curious. What the fuck? What have they made porn parodies of? You know? Listen, some of it's pretty good, dude. Some of it's not bad. Listen, dude, I don't mind this shit, okay? I don't want a fucking paper mache Pikachu head, but if it's just somebody with Pikachu ears on and it's just a normal looking person, I don't give a fuck. It might be good. It might be good shit. Who knows, dude? You know what bothers me is that all these motherfuckers are like, I've talked about this with people where I'm like, oh, you ever watch like porn parody stuff? They're like, nah, that shit's weird. That shit's fucking weird. Oh, is it weird? I remember your girlfriend dressed as Catwoman on Halloween last year, you fuckhead. What'd you do? What'd you do that night? Did you have sex in the fucking outfits you were wearing? Oh, yeah? Shut up. Oh, no, these porn parody things are weird. Oh, is it? Because every girl on Halloween dresses as a sexy fucking cat. Okay? Or a sexy bunny or a sexy nurse. Or literally what people dress up like in a porn parody. So, what are you talking about? There's a porn parody about Reservoir Dogs? That's fucking weird. All right. Is it? Didn't you dress up as Mr. Blue and your girlfriend Mr. Pink? And what did you guys do on Halloween that night? Huh? After you got a little tipsy. Did you not fuck in those outfits? So stupid. That shit's weird. It's crazy how people live things in their real life and they see it in something else. They go, that's fucking weird, bro. I don't know. I guess people are fucking... I guess that's the nature of people, though. You know? There's priests who are like, gay people are the devil. And then all they do is fucking have sex with men. You know? Who's that fucking... There was a priest... I I know there's a lot of pedophilia stuff, but no, there was a specific priest. I forget who. I know there was a politician. That happens with politicians all the time. Fucking always notoriously homophobic politicians are having sex, dude. Remember the guy who fucking tapped underneath that guy's bathroom stall? If you're too young to know, there was this politician, the senator, somebody in politics who was very anti-gay and I think was opposed to gay marriage, and then he was caught tapping his foot underneath another guy's stall in the bathroom to try and fucking signal him to have sex with him. He later was like, I was looking for toilet paper. I was just seeing how he's doing. I forget what his story was something where you're like, that now we know for a fact. It's always like, hey, we caught you tapping underneath someone's stall. Why were you doing that? And the easy answer would be like, oh, I needed toilet paper. But then it's always when the person's guilty, they're like, well, I just wanted to make sure his bowel movement was going well. I just wanted to make sure that, his asshole was in tip-top shape for pooping. That's it. I didn't want to see his asshole and munch on it. I didn't want that. I just wanted to see if the shit was leaving his butthole properly. It's not that I wanted to fucking shove my nose in it. I just wanted to fucking suck his dick and eat his ass. No, I needed toilet paper. Oh, really? That's a big slip up. You just said you want to shove your nose in his ass and suck his dick. No, I meant toilet paper. Oh, okay. Honest mistake. Honest slip up. Yeah, I want to fucking gobble his nuts and fucking kiss him on the lips. All right, dude. That's cool if you want to do that, but it's just different from your policies. And he's like, nah, dude, I fucking said toilet paper. Anyway, what I'm saying is, okay, so I was looking at pornography and I saw this old video that was like a Reservoir Dogs porn parody or something like that. And gonna be honest with you, I wasn't that into it. I was like, I'm not into it. Wasn't that good, Listen, I'm somebody who's going to admit, I'm somebody with enough self-awareness to say, hey, there's a reason why on Halloween people dress up as sexy characters and we are attracted to it, okay? I'm all good with porn parodies. Like I said a second ago, as long as there's no paper mache Pikachus, I'm in. As long as people look like themselves, wearing fucking maybe a superhero costume, that's hot. Who cares? That's fucking... How is that not... Anyway, it's just weird. Like, people will see fucking a superhero movie with, like, Captain Marvel, or people will literally see Catwoman in fucking Batman Returns and be like, Michelle Pfeiffer looks so fucking hot in that outfit. And then what? And then you're like, oh, have you ever seen a porn parody of Catwoman? They're like, that's fucking weird, bro. Anyway. But anyway, this Reservoir Dogs thing. And then I thought to myself, and I was thinking about this, for probably too long, but seeing that Reservoir Dogs parody, I was like, do directors search out their own porn parodies? Have any directors do directors sign off on these? That's what I was wondering. Because also Reservoir Dogs, like, if anyone was going to sign off on a porn parody of their own creation, it'd be Tarantino. And if anybody was going to fucking search out and jerk off to their own porn parody, it'd be Quentin Tarantino. Come on, dude. If there was an Irishman porn parody, Tarantino would be the first to be like, oh, that looks just like De Niro. Bagunk? Wow, dude. That really looks like Al. A sploosh. Immediately, dude. Wow, dude. That looks just like Uma Thurman. Kill Bill these nuts? This is a good porn parody. A squish. Wow, dude. Charlie Brown? This looks just fucking like Charlie Brown. Splish splash. Right? Does Nolan look up Inception porn? Is there even Inception porn? I don't know. If I had seen it, I would tell you. Trust me, guys. I'm not going to fucking lie about it. Um, right? Video game. There's a ton of fucking video game type porn. Live action and not live action. But are the creators of BioShock angry about it? That's what I'm saying. Is Ken Levine pissed that people have animated his characters to do some not so savory things? That, I guess, does Seth MacFarlane sign off on the weird fucking toon porn? That's what I want to know. And if he does sign off on it, is he getting off to it? It's a curious thing. Does anybody else wonder this? Am I just being gross and weird? Am I off base? I don't know. I wonder that, man. It'd be the first fucking question I asked. If I met Seth MacFarlane, it'd be the first thing I asked him. Hey, dude, Ted 2 was weird, but I did like the Gollum jokes. I thought those were funny. Anyway, what do you jerk off to fucking Family Guy porn? And if so, is that why it exists? Is that why there's so many ads for it in the side of my fucking Pornhub? Like, why is that? Why? What's going on? The creator of The Simpsons? I don't know, man. The Jeffrey, isn't there one that's like well, now it's fucking a little darker, right? Because but I think there's a Cosby's parody. The Cosby Show parody. Called like This Is Not the Cosbys. And I think they have like This Is Not All in the Family or something like that. Or This Is Not. Dude, they got if a show exists, there's a porn parody about it. And my question is, they get away with it just because of parody law? I guess so, right? I don't know. It's interesting to me. It's not like they don't call the characters. Like Batman is called Batman in these fucking, you know? They're not like, hey, you're not. They don't say Harold Quinn instead of Harley Quinn. They go, yo, it's Harley Quinn. What's up, dude? And I'm like, is this okay financially for them? People already don't really buy porn. Is this a good financial decision for these people? That's what I'm thinking about when I'm trying to look at porn. I'm like, is this really fiscally responsible of these individuals to be making this copyrighted fucking film? Anyway, Tarantino jerks off to Reservoir Dogs porn for sure. That's really what I want to say. That's really what I want to say. He for sure has watched the stuff that porn companies have made of his stuff, and I'm sure he has commissioned his own private, secret porn parodies of all his films that he jerks off vigorously to, and there are much more feet involved. Fuck it. His own movies he puts in the fucking feet shit so later he can be like, oh my god. You think he doesn't fucking take those dailies and fucking put them on a loop? You think he doesn't cut together the raw footage and fucking make it raw as fuck, dude? You don't think he cuts that raw footage together to make it super raw for himself? You don't think he fucking zooms in on those toes in his special edit of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? You bet your ass he does. He makes really good movies, Tarantino. He does. I'm not shitting on the art. I'm not even shitting on him. I think that's true. I think that's what he does. I think that's what he does. Anyway. Chris Evans' penis was in the news. His brother, a day after it happened, because apparently he got rid of his Twitter, and then he came back from Twitter a day later, and he was like, "What'd I miss?" Like as a joke, because obviously he probably had heard "Yo," like he probably got a ton of texts that were like, "Yo, your brother's fucking cock." Yo, Captain America's fucking dick, aka your brother's fucking cocks on the internet, you fuck. I don't know why I'm imagining he has a bunch of Italian friends texting him, yo, you dumb fucking Evans fuck. Your brother's cock's all over the fucking internet. So he came back and was like, what'd I miss? Like, as a funny joke. And I wanted so badly to message it. I didn't see the tweet itself. And I didn't feel like searching it out. But I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and still do this. But I hope, I didn't look at the tweets, but I hope somebody, as a joke, was like, dude, your fucking brother's dick. Did you not see? You know what the thing is? I bet you people didn't even do it as a joke. I bet you there were at least 20 people who for real, dead serious, were messaging at him like, dude, your brother's dick. You didn't fucking know? Dude, you were off Twitter. Did you not know? Did you not know? Is there any communication outside of Twitter where you would know that your brother's dick is on Twitter? Of course there is. But I'm going to act like there isn't. Dude, you weren't on Twitter? You didn't fucking know? You didn't know that your brother's got a fucking very fucking everyman dick? And it's on the internet? Dude! It's very interesting how people are just openly talking about his dick. Like it's not a big deal. I mean, this goes into what I was saying before about male insecurity and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. If you think men aren't insecure about their bodies, ask them about their penis, okay? Even if you got a nice penis, still somewhere in your mind you're like, is it though? Oh, man. And we're all just openly talking about this man's dick. I mean, he seemed to handle it pretty well. But, like, dude, that's fucking... I don't know. The casual way in which everyone was talking about it. Here's the thing. It is what it is, right? Because I'm not going to frown on anyone for openly talking about his dick. It is what it is. It's out there. Everyone's talking about it. When they showed Ansel Elgort's penis, I talked about it. I immediately... Because he seems like a douchebag. So immediately I was like, eh. It's funny, for Ansel Elgort, I was like, his dick's not that big. Like, it looked pretty big, but I was like, it's not, bro. Because I think he seems like an asshole. But Chris Evans seems like a fucking dope dude. So I saw his dick and was like, it's a nice dick. I was boosting his up and pushing Ansel's down. I was like, nah, dude, his is fucking whatever, bro. But yeah, Chris Evans, it was pretty good. Anyway, weird, man. Weird. I don't know. There were different arguments about it. There were some people being like, because what happened with Chris Evans was a lot of people to counteract his accidental. What happened was, if you don't know, he was posting a picture. He was doing a live stream, and then his camera roll came up in the live stream, and then in his camera roll was a dick pic, right? So then someone screenshotted that, and then was like, "Oh fuck, that's his dick." So what happened was the internet felt bad, and they collectively were like flooding his Twitter feed with like pictures of him and puppies and like other nice wholesome photos to hide the dick pic, right? So then it became this argument online of like a famous person was like a famous actress, I think, or actor, as I say, because I'm progressive, bro. But a famous actor, she was like, that's really nice that Chris Evans like had everyone back him up, but like where was that support for women whose photos were leaked? She said something along those lines. Okay? I'm paraphrasing. So if I got it wrong and you think I'm an asshole for that, I'm an asshole. But it was something along those lines of, when this happens to women, everyone's trying to look at their photos and not helping them out. which I don't know. I don't know. It's a different thing because with the leaks, I don't know. Have we seen something like that where it was a woman accidentally tweeted her own nude? I don't know. Maybe we have seen something like that and I just don't know about it. But I think it's a different scenario than just people leaking your shit. Because if people are just leaking your shit, then it's not on a public thing where people could flood the feed to hide it. It's just, out in the ether or out on whatever site it's on where people have to search out to go see it. And I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird double standard territory. And it goes back to the discussion before of like, it's hard to talk about these subjects without seeming like you're trying to be like, well, this person, like, it's worse for men or it's worse for women. I don't even want to delve into that discussion because I don't think it's ever that. I don't think it's ever it's worse for men or it's worse for women or this or that. I think thinking of shit like that in absolutes like that is a fucking stupid mentality. Okay? I'm not a Sith, bro. All right? There are a lot of people where it's like you either fully support this or you fully support that. And you're like, no, dude, you're only a Sith speaks in fucking absolutes, dude. And I'm a Jedi, dude. I'm a Jedi among Sith, bro. I never speak in absolutes, dude. I'm in the gray zone. Okay? I'm hearing out what needs to be said and then I'm deciding. Okay? If you come up to me and go, no, it's either men are insecure, it's either men have unfair body expectations and it's worse than women's, or it's either women have it and it's worse than men's, okay? It's not that they both have them in varying degrees. It's not fucking that, okay? And I'm like, no, it is that because I'm a Jedi, bro. And you're a Sith. Okay? All right? That same mentality of you being like, women have it really bad with body image stuff and men don't have it at all. Or if you're like, men have body image stuff and women need to suck it up. If you're either of those people, you're also somebody who's like, I'm going to dress as fucking Han Solo for Halloween. But if I see Han Solo in a porn film, that's gross. Hey, dude, you're a Sith. And I'm a Jedi, okay? I feel the pain for all people who suffer body image issues, and also, I'll jerk off to fucking Star Wars porn. Okay, dude? Because I'm a Jedi. That's a Jedi move. Anyway, what were we talking about? Yeah. Okay, so that's what I was to say. There's different things. And here's the thing. It's like people will talk about Chris Evans' penis, and it largely doesn't matter. That's where the difference is too. It's like it largely doesn't matter. People will talk about the women when their stuff gets leaked. They will talk about the women's bodies, but it will be more of a fuck you if someone says something. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if someone was discussing Jennifer Lawrence's boobs after the leaks came out and they were in a certain job position at a company, they could be fired. But I doubt that somebody would be fired for being like, oh shit, Chris Evans' dick. You know? Positive or negative. Positive or negative. If you're like, damn, dude, these nudes are fucking hot of Jennifer Lawrence. These J-Law nudes are dope. You'd have people giving you shit. And I think you'd have more people giving you shit than if you said Chris Evans has a nice penis. You know? And I could be wrong. I could be an asshole. I could be totally fucking off base here. But I think that, I don't know. But also I agree that, like, I don't know if people would come to, I don't know. I think it depends. If that happened to, like, Beyonce, there was a nude, I think her fans would flood her shit so that people don't see her nude. I think that would happen. I think it's a different scenario. But again, I don't know. And also with the dick thing, when I'm saying like, men have body image issues with their dicks. Yeah, it's like I'm not saying that like, oh, women don't have to. I mean, yeah, women don't have to deal with a dick specific body image thing, but they do have to deal with breasts. I don't have to deal with that. I mean, I do in a different sort of way. That's the thing, is like it's a different sort of way. Women got to worry about their butts, their boobs. I got to worry about my boobs being too big because then I'm fucking fat and gross, and like that's a whole thing. And I'm not saying that I feel that way about larger people, but that's an insult that people might give you if you got fucking man tits, as they call them. Which aren't man tits, they're just tits, okay? You can have tits. Men, we have tits. I mean, I have them no matter what. Like, even if you don't have the thick, juicy meat, you got a tit, bro. You have a tit. Men have tits. They're just not as plump. Are you telling me a woman who is flat chested doesn't have tits? No, dude. But again, see, flat. They got to worry about being called flat. It's different things for different people. But it's all bad. It's all not good. It shouldn't matter, dude. I don't know. Everyone has their own fucking preferences. Okay? Some people like small breasts. Some people like big asses. Some people like small asses. Some people like big women, little women, dad bod men, fucking super cut men. Again, Zac Efron, fucking in the news. I just think the reaction is different. I think women suffer a lot of bullshit for body image stuff. And I think they're held under a lot of scrutiny for their looks. But I do also think there's a problem with how men are viewed, because like Zac Efron had his fucking had 3 less pectorals. He wasn't ripped as shit. Instead, he was fucking just buff in his new bullshit Netflix series that he's doing. But immediately there were articles that were like, oh my God, Zac Efron has a dad bod now. And again, people were saying it in a positive way. Like, I'm into his dad bod. But at the same time, it's like, so if you're not ripped, you have a dad bod? Like, I don't take that as a fucking compliment. Dad bod isn't a compliment. I don't give a fuck if people are like, oh, dad bods are sexy. If I said you had a mom fucking body, you'd be like, excuse me, you fuck? And guess what, dude? Some mom bods are hot. What's a mom bod? Just an older woman's body? What is a dad bod? You want to fuck your dad? Like, I don't get the term dad bod. I don't understand it. I need it to be explained to me. What does dad bod mean? I know what it means. It means you're like a little plumper. It means you look like you have the body of a dad. Okay? Which I understand if some women are into that. Some women think that's hot. But again, here we come to the double standards, the weird territory. Mom bod. If I say mom bod, is that cool? No. People will be like, you want to fuck your mom, weirdo? If I said something, that girl's hot, she's got a mom bod, people will be like, are you fucking watching porn parodies? Do you jerk off to Catwoman shit? Saying mom bod like that, you freak? That's what it is, man. I don't know. It's interesting. All this stuff's interesting. And again, I'm not going against anybody. And I'm not trying to say anybody has it worse than the other. I'm just trying to honestly bring this shit up, because I feel like it gets into weird arguments. And I guess I don't know if it always does, because a lot of people I have conversations with this about, and it's good. Like my friend, I had a conversation with her about insecurity, and she was immediately intrigued. Another friend of mine, same discussion, where I was talking about like, yeah, I am insecure too, and I know a lot of men who are insecure about their looks, and she was like fascinated by it. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's what we should have. We should be talking about it like, oh yeah, dude, oh wow, new information. I don't know. I think with my ex it was a different thing, because she had some body image issues, and I think maybe she built a an idea of what things were. That when I was talking about other things, it infringed on her idea of what things were. And then that made her defensive towards me. And now, I'm not saying the idea she had wasn't valid. I'm just saying, like, she was attacking me in a way where she was predisposing what the fuck I was going to say or what the fuck I felt based on what she was thinking. You know what I'm saying? And that's never a good territory for a conversation, is somebody assuming what you think based on what's in their head instead of listening to what you're saying so that you can have a productive conversation. That's rough. But anyway, that was the second timer. I wanted to talk about one more thing. Okay, I'm gonna do one more part. I'll see you guys in a sec. Yo, all right, last part. I guess I only want to talk about one thing, really. Talked about a lot in this podcast, man. Insecurity, Jedi, Sith, Chris Evans, dick pics, porn parodies. We talked about a lot of silly shit. And some serious shit. Wow, interesting. What a journey. But I want to talk about one last thing, and that's thievery, stealing shit. The ambiguous and not so ambiguous nature of stealing stuff when it comes to art or it comes to design. So James Charles was in the news recently, or maybe not the news, but a little bit of internet tea. Oh, we got the fucking tea. But H3 Productions has a company called Teddy Fresh. Super dope outfits. I like them a lot. Their sweatshirt looks sick as fuck, but I can't get it because every time I look up their fucking clothing, it's out of stock. And I'm like, damn, dude, come on. I don't know if I'm an asshole who always just like looks at the wrong moment. I should fucking sign up for their I should sign up for their newsletter or whatever the fuck, or get a Google alert or something. It's probably my fault. I don't know. But they're always sold out. Probably because the shit's good. Anyway, I would love some of their shit, but I'm always too late to the party. Anyway, they have really cool shit. They have like cool color blocking type stuff. And they got a little teddy bear that's their logo. That's Teddy Fresh that I fucking love. I grew up with the teddy bear. When I was a wee little lad, 3 years old, I was given a little stuffed teddy bear that I slept with for fucking way too long. Love teddy bears. Love Teddy Fresh. Great designs. Love Ela. Love Ethan. Appreciate you. Papa bless. Anyway, but James Charles just released a line of merch that's called the color blocking package or whatever the fuck. Anyway, he's wearing a sweatshirt in the video where he's announcing it. That's their hoodie. Same colors, like slightly lighter maybe the colors, but the same exact colors, if not maybe a little bit lighter. But it's the same thing. It's a ripoff. It's a fucking clear, distinct, on purpose ripoff of Teddy Fresh. And I watched some H3 stuff where H3 was talking about like, he reached out to James Charles or whatever, and they talked about it, and James Charles was acting like big timing him a little bit. I mean, this is what Ethan said, so that's his perspective on it. I believe him. Others might not. But James Charles apparently acted like he kind of didn't know what their shit even was. And then there's a TikTok of James Charles doing some fucking dance with his employees, and a guy's wearing a fucking Teddy Fresh sweatshirt. And it's like, also, fuck all that shit. Like, you're on TikTok. Other people are on TikTok. I mean, they were saying this on the H3 podcast a little bit, but also at the same time, it's like, dude, what? If you're a big YouTuber, they're both big. I mean, James Charles is much larger in numbers to an H3, but like they know each other. They fucking travel in similar circles. They know what's up. If you have a clothing line, you're going to know about every other YouTuber's fucking clothing line, or at least the big ones. Or at least the ones that have very prominent clothing. Like, I feel like Teddy Fresh, if you think about YouTube clothing lines, Teddy Fresh is fresh in your mind. No pun intended. Or pun actually a little bit intended. But it's an interesting thing because I was on his video and I was looking at the comments on James Charles' video, the announcement video, looking at the comments. And there were a lot of people who were like, oh, you ripped off the design. I was one of them who was, I didn't say you ripped off. I was just like, damn, dude. Sick Teddy Fresh sweatshirt. Ela Klein with the dope designs. God bless. Or appreciate you. Papa bless. Whatever the fuck I said. But what I'm saying is, I saw a lot of comments being like, this is fucked. You stole the design. But then I saw a lot of comments being like, who cares? Who cares? They didn't invent color blocking. Who gives a shit? And then there's a James Charles thing where he was all pissed off because some color palette copied the colors that he chose for a color palette. So he was angry at the exact same fucking thing. I'm basically just reiterating what I saw on the H3 podcast. But I do think it's fucking good examples of hypocrisy that make you go, what's going on here? And here's the thing. Everyone is a hypocrite at a certain time in their life. But I think it's more about being aware of when you end up being a hypocrite, because I think it's impossible not to be. I think eventually you might do something that you criticize. That's just human nature. But I think it's about being self-aware in those moments of like, fuck. Either being aware where you're like, yeah, I'm doing something that I was not okay with. No, this is the way you should do it. Oh shit, I did something that I was not okay with before. Maybe I shouldn't do that, or question why you critiqued it in the past or why you're doing it now. Like, have some sort of self-examination of it. And I don't know if James Charles is having that. It seems like he's just like, hey, fuck you. Fuck you guys for being a successful fashion company when you're not fucking fashionistas. I don't know. I'm putting that in his mouth. He didn't say that. I don't know if he feels that way. He might just be like, hey, dude, I want to sell hoodies like that. I don't know his motivation. What I really want to talk about, what I'm really fascinated in, is the comments on the video were like, a lot of people were like, hey, this is fucked. But then some people were like, who cares? And that fascinates me. And because it reminds me of like, that's not a uncommon reaction to thievery when it comes to like creative artists in any field. I mean, Carlos Mencia, Dane Cook, same thing happened. I mean, maybe I didn't really see a direct example with Dane Cook, but Carlos Mencia, I saw the same exact thing. I saw people being like, oh, he stole Bill Cosby's joke. And then people were like, who gives a fuck? Or he stole Ari Shafir's joke, or he stole that joke, or he stole this joke. And I would see people in the comments literally going, yeah, but Carlos does it better. I don't care. As long as the joke is funny, I don't care. I'm there for the comedian, not the joke. And it's a fascinating thing where there are people who they don't care. They're just like, whatever, dude. They don't care about the creator behind the thing, which is a weird. They just care about the end product. It's like there are knockoff Yeezys, right? There are fake Yeezys that are posing as Yeezys. But if they weren't called Yeezy, you wouldn't buy it. You would only buy it if it's a knockoff. And I guess somehow that's okay because it's trying to be something that it isn't. But if you make a sweatshirt where you're like, no, well, this is not their sweatshirt, this is my sweatshirt, but it's the same exact fucking thing, then I don't know. I think they're both bad. I think you can't just fucking make a knockoff Yeezy. That's fucked up. Right? Here's my point. Why are people like, I don't want to knock off Yeezy, but for James Charles sweatshirt or Teddy Fresh's sweatshirt that James Charles is ripping off of, people are like, oh. People aren't being like, oh, I don't want to knock off Teddy Fresh. They're like, oh yeah, I don't care. I'll get a James Charles hoodie. I like James Charles. I don't know. I'm probably speaking out of my depth because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And also, maybe as I'm talking about this, maybe I'm just figuring out that, you know, with the Yeezy thing, some people are like, I'll get bootleg Yeezys. I don't give a fuck. I guess it's the same mentality. I don't care. I won't get the Teddy Fresh stuff. I'll just get the fucking. I just like the colors. I don't care about the logo or the people making or people behind it making it. I just want the sweatshirt. I don't know. I guess what I'm really asking is like, why do I find that so invalid? Like, why do I find that so fucking stupid? Or why does that bother me so much? I guess it's because I think about if I made something. And then I also think about the person. I'm like, the person who's saying that, if they made something and then somebody fucking stole it, would they say the same thing? Are they just saying that because it's not happening to them? I think maybe that's why it bothers me. Because it seems so impersonal and disingenuous to be like, oh, they're ripping off that person's thing. I don't give a fuck. Because if it was your thing being ripped off, you would care. But again, I'm assuming that. Maybe you wouldn't care. Maybe you wouldn't give a fuck. And you just be like, all right, they can steal my shit. But I don't see how any person could be that way. And I mean, James Charles is a good example. When it was his shit, he was pissed that people were ripping off the color palette. But when it's him stealing the thing, he's like, it'll be fine. Our fans don't even cross over. Meanwhile, you see a lot of H3 fans in his comments being like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's weird, man. It's a weird thing. And Carlos Mencia, I was always the guy who was like, fuck this guy, he's a joke stealer. But some people don't feel that way. Some people still to this day were like, I thought Mind Mencia was funny. I don't know. It's weird. It's It's one of those things too where I don't think there's some people who don't care about it at all, but then there are some people who take it too far. Like, I don't know if Carlos Mencia should have lost his career. I guess he was so blatant with it and so aggressive with it constantly that he fucking made his own grave. And it was like a lot of people didn't care about it or kind of heavily ignored it until he stole the Bill Cosby joke, which at the time Bill Cosby was beloved. Nowadays, if that happened, I don't think he would have gotten deaded after that. I think he would have been maybe fine. Which recently he said, he was like, oh, people were pissed I stole the Cosby joke, which I didn't steal it, but even if I did, he's a piece of shit, so who gives a fuck? Yeah, dude, sure. As long as somebody's exposed as a monster, you get to steal all their shit. What? What are you talking about? Shakespeare's work doesn't become yours if he's a cunt. That's not how it works. So fucking dumb. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think James Charles should be canceled or anything, but like, I don't know. It's just kind of shitty. Just what's the motivation for doing that? Just so you're going to make money? It just seems like a shit. It just seems like such a narcissistic fuck you. That's why it bothers me. That's why it irritates me so much, and why, I don't know, I felt the need to talk about it, is that like, it's such a fuck you. It's such a blatant, hey, I'm going to steal your shit, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm going to make a ton of money off of just taking your design. And I'm going to be fine. And that's what motivates people to fucking try and cancel you and like take you down. I guess it wouldn't be canceling back during Carlos's time, but not canceling, but being like, fuck this guy so much that like, I don't want him to make clothing anymore. Like, there are probably some people who are thinking that way. I don't know. I don't think you should be thinking that way. I think that's too aggressive, but I understand how people get there because it fucking pisses people off. It pisses me off. That why would you? I think that's the thing too, is that it's a bummer of a thing and a revealing thing because, at least for me, I don't see how you can be a nice person or a kind person or a likable person if you do something that's that much of a fuck you. which again, I wasn't like a big James Charles fan, but when all that other bullshit tea happened with Tati and all the fucking makeup fucking people, when all that shit went down, I was like, yo, James, you got those receipts, bruh? I thought that was dope, dude. I thought fucking James was backed into a corner and he was like, yeah, whatever, bro. Fucking, I got these receipts. I'm not a piece of shit. Sometimes I want to try and kiss a fucking straight dude. I'm not trying to force them to do anything they don't want to do, but like, I don't fucking, like, he got out of that in a way that was like, oh, good for you, man. Everyone was fucking being an asshole to you and you got out of it. That's cool. But, you know, then you do something like this, and I'm like, oh, I guess you're an asshole too. Like, you're a fucking piece of shit. What the fuck? Why would you do that? I don't know. It's just a very selfish move in a way that makes me not like somebody, and I don't enjoy not liking somebody. You know? It's fun to, once you don't like somebody, be like, fuck that person. You know, it's fun, but you also feel bad. It doesn't feel good to say fuck that person. You would prefer to like everybody. So it's disheartening when someone gives you a clear reason to be like, oh, what? You kind of suck. I don't know. It stinks. But anyway, I'm just a fucking dumb fuck who gets like 30 views on a podcast. Not even. I get like 15. But doesn't matter, dude. My opinion doesn't matter. James, keep stealing whatever the fuck you want. H3, Papa Bless, dude. If it's in stock, I'm going to try and get some of Teddy Fresh merch. I love you guys. Yeah. Anyway, this was a fun podcast, man. I've been feeling angry this week. I was actually going to start the podcast like that, but then I didn't for whatever reason because I was having such a good time. But I've been feeling bad. I've been feeling angry. I've just been feeling shitty. And every time I do this podcast, by the end of it, I'm so fucking happy. And I'm just happy to be doing it. And yeah, I love it. I love you guys for listening. You're fucking dope. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Jake, you're an idiot. Jake, you don't make any sense. Jake, you're a piece of shit. A piece of shit.